Hello, you are watching the biologist channel, and today I am going to discuss about the question number 15 of the A levels chemistry of the alkanes, the topical questions. A species of termite produces a chemical defense secretion which contains the molecule shown, and defense secretion which contains a molecule shown. Actually, to help determine the structure of this compound, it is treated with a hot concentrated acidified manganate 7 ions. Which compound are produced in this reaction? In this question, we can see here, there is carbon carbon double bond, and if there is both hydrogen attached to the same carbon, so there will be the carbon dioxide, one molecule of carbon dioxide production, and after that there is RH present, so the aldehyde will form the number of aldehyde. If there is double bond carbon contain R and H, there will be aldehyde formation, and after that if there are carbon carbon double bond and carbon contains both side RR, we can see the ketone formation, and the aldehyde formation ultimately forms the carboxylic acid formation. So here we can see carbon carbon double bond and both R group are present, so one ketone will be formed, and after that we can see here the both hydrogen contains, so there will be carbon dioxide, of course there must be carbon dioxide and there must be ketone, and after that if carbon contain R and H, and here we can see H is present, but this is not the R group actually, so we can see only 1 and 2, or we can see the question number 15, and the B is the correct option, 1 and 2. So in the next question number 16, which equation represents the initiation step of the substitution reaction between methane and the chlorine? Initiation, as I mentioned earlier, if there is only free radical present on the product side, so this reaction is called as the initiation reaction. So here we can see this is only the initiation, this is not initiation, and here we can see this is not, so the C is the correct one. After that, question number 16, which equation represents the valid propagation step in this chlorination of ethane? So we can see there must be free radical with the alkyl group, there should not be free radical with the hydrogen, so hydrogen is not correct propagation. First of all, you had to identify products and reactants, both contain the free radical, so this must not be the free radical, this is not free radical, this is the termination, so only B is the correct one. There are 3 structural isomers with the formula C5H12, we known this is the pentane. Which formula correctly represents these 3 structural isomers? Here we can see, we can start with the A, this is the pentane, and this bracket shows actually the branch, so there is one branch and there is 2 branches here. So in this option, so this may be the correct one, but we have to see the other options. In the B we can see this is the N pentane, this is the isopentane, and this is also the isopentane, so this is not correct. So we can see here this is the carbon 2 branch, this is carbon 2 branch, so this is not correct isomers. This is carbon 2 branch, this is also carbon 2 branch, so this is not also correct, so only A is the correct one. In the next question number 19, alkanes are saturated hydrocarbons. Which type of reaction alkane also gives? Actually, the alkane only give the free radical substitution reactions. As you know, alkanes are saturated compounds, and saturated compounds only follow the substitution reaction. There should not be addition reaction, only alkenes can undergo the addition reactions. So in the question number 20, following fractional distillation of crude oil, which processes can be used to produce the propene from the larger hydrocarbon molecules? We can see can be used to produce the propene from the larger hydrocarbon molecules. So this is the cracking, only one, so the D will be the correct one, only one. Okay, question number 21, chlorofluorocarbons that diffuse into the stratosphere are broken down by the ultraviolet radiation. Radical are generated that cause the depletion of ozone. What are these radical? Actually these radicals are called as chlorine radical, so only D or we can see only one option is the correct one. In the question 22, in this question you should assume air contain 21% oxygen. What is the minimum volume of air required to complete combustion of 10 cm cube of the butane that under the room conditions? Here we can see there is a equation, butane 6 into half oxygen, after that 4 carbon dioxide will produce and 5 water molecule will be produced. So the volume of oxygen will be 10⁻⁶.5 into 10, so 65 cm cube will be the volume of the oxygen. And this 21%, actually this 65 is the 21%, so we can see 1% will be 65 over 21, and 100%, as we know minimum volume of air, so the air will be 100%, and 65 into 100 over 21, this will be the D will be the correct one. Okay, question number 23, when the aqueous bromine is shaken with the cyclohexane and allowed to stand, two layers form. The top cyclohexane layer is colored and the bottom aqueous layer is almost colorless. Here we can see what is the most likely explanation for this observation. We can see bromine is reduced to bromide ions in the bottom layer. No, this is not correct one, because actually bromine is non-polar, and when we react with the aqueous bromine with the cyclohexane, two layers differently will form. Bromine molecules are non-polar actually, and cyclohexane are the actually cyclic molecules. Bromine react with the water but cannot react with the cyclohexane, so this is not correct, because cyclohexane is also polar molecule and it can react with the bromine. The product of the reaction between bromine and cyclohexane is colored. No, this is not correct one. Only option 2 is the correct. Bromine molecule are the non-polar molecules. In the next question, question number 24, on complete combustion, a sample of X produces 44 gram of carbon dioxide and 27 gram of water. On complete combustion, sample of Y produces 44 gram of carbon dioxide and 18 gram of water. On complete combustion, sample of Z produces the 22 gram of carbon dioxide and 9 gram of water. Which substance is called straight chain alkanes? Actually, we can see for the identification of straight chain alkanes, we can say there is only that option which contains the option 1X. We can see here that, so there must be 44 gram of carbon dioxide and 27 gram of water. So it means if there is 44 gram carbon dioxide and 18 gram of water, so complete combustion straight chain, for the identification of straight chain we can see carbon 4, this one, and it will react with the oxygen, and 6 into half oxygen will be required, and 4 CO2 plus 5 H2O. We can see here for 10 cm cube, for example we have 10 cm cube of 10 mg of butane, then 40 mg, or we can 11 here to 44 gram of carbon dioxide, and after that 50 gram of water will be produced. So in this question we have the 44 gram of carbon dioxide is used and 27 gram of water is produced, so only this option contains the straight chain. In the both option 2 the same ratio is present. Here we can see the same ratio is present, and the same ratio, or we can say the if we half the number of carbon dioxide, there is half number of hydrogen or water, so this is not the correct ratio, or actually the only one option is correct. 25, during the bromination of methane, the free radical substitution is generated. A possible termination step of this reaction is the formation of ethane by a combination of the two free radical, which could be produced in the termination step during the bromination of propane. Actually here we can see in the 25 question there is only 2 and 3, because here we can see 3 and 3, 3, 3. So here we can see only this option